Welcome to Farming Aid.
What if one of Ireland's most unique native cattle breeds had quietly disappeared without the world even noticing? In today's video, we uncover the powerful comeback story of the Irish Moiled, a rare Irish breed that once stood on the brink of extinction. From near total collapse in numbers to a determined conservation revival, this is more than a farming story. It is a lesson in resilience, heritage, and the future of sustainable cattle breeding. The Irish Moiled, known officially as the Irish Moiled, is distinctive at first glance. The name moiled comes from the Gaelic word meaning hornless, and that is one of its defining features. Unlike many traditional British and Irish breeds that carry impressive horns, this one is naturally polled. Its coat patterns are striking, usually red and white or sometimes roan, with color wrapping around the body in bold patches. The head often shows a splash of white across the face, giving the animal an alert, intelligent expression. Medium in size, compact yet well balanced, it is not built for extremes but for resilience. To understand why the breed nearly vanished, you have to look at the transformation of agriculture after the Second World War. Farming across Ireland and the United Kingdom shifted rapidly toward specialization. Dairy farmers favored high-output breeds such as the Holstein Friesian, which could produce far more milk per lactation than traditional dual-purpose cattle. Beef producers began importing continental breeds like the Charolais, chasing faster growth rates and heavier carcasses. In this race for productivity, the Irish Moiled seemed old-fashioned. It did not dominate milk yields, and it did not match the extreme muscling of newer beef breeds. What it offered instead was balance, fertility, longevity, and the ability to thrive on rough pasture. Those traits were undervalued in a market obsessed with output per cow. By the 1970s and 1980s, numbers had fallen dramatically. Many small farmers who had kept Irish Moiled cattle either retired or switched breeds. Without organized breeding programs or widespread promotion, the gene pool shrank. At one point, estimates suggested that only a few dozen pure animals remained. When a livestock population drops that low, the danger is not just small numbers but genetic bottleneck. Inbreeding becomes a serious risk, and with it comes the potential for reduced fertility and increased health problems. The Irish Moiled was not just rare. It was vulnerable. Yet, extinction did not happen. The turning point came from a group of dedicated breeders who recognized the cultural and agricultural value of the breed. They formed networks, established herd books, and began carefully recording pedigrees. Conservation groups and rare breed organizations stepped in to provide structure and awareness. Breeders tracked bloodlines, exchanged animals to reduce inbreeding, and promoted the qualities that made the Irish Moiled unique. Slowly, the narrative shifted from outdated relic to heritage asset. Part of the renewed interest came from a broader movement toward sustainable farming. As environmental concerns grew and input costs rose, farmers began to question high-intensity systems that relied heavily on concentrates and imported feed. The Irish Moiled, with its ability to convert grass efficiently and perform well in low-input systems, suddenly looked relevant again. It was well adapted to the Irish climate, tolerant of wet conditions, and capable of maintaining body condition on forage that might challenge more specialized breeds. In marginal areas, that adaptability can make the difference between profit and loss. Temperament has always been one of the breed's strengths. Irish Moiled cattle are known for being docile and manageable, a trait that matters on small family farms and in mixed enterprises. Easy calving is another advantage. Cows are typically good mothers with strong maternal instincts and reliable fertility. In commercial terms, that translates to lower veterinary costs and fewer complications at birth. These practical benefits often go unnoticed when conversations focus only on maximum output, but for many farmers, they are critical. The dual-purpose heritage of the Irish Moiled is also part of its story. Historically, it provided both milk for the household and beef for the table. While modern breeding within the population has leaned more strongly toward beef characteristics, the maternal qualities and frame reflect that balanced origin. This versatility was once common among native breeds before specialization divided cattle into strict dairy or beef categories. In a world that is once again exploring diversified farm income streams, such flexibility has regained value. The recovery of the Irish Moiled has not been dramatic or explosive. It has been steady and deliberate. Breed societies have worked to register animals, promote shows, and encourage new entrants. Agricultural events across Northern Ireland and beyond have given the breed visibility. Young farmers have taken interest, seeing in it not only a business opportunity but a link to regional identity. There is pride in preserving something that belongs uniquely to the island's farming history. Genetic conservation has been central to this effort. Careful selection has aimed to expand numbers without narrowing the gene base further. Modern tools, including DNA testing, have supported breeders in making informed mating decisions. The goal has not been to chase extremes but to maintain the breed's defining characteristics: moderate size, strong fertility, good muscling, and efficient grass utilization. In this sense, the Irish Moiled revival represents a different philosophy of breeding. It is not about pushing biological limits. It is about preserving balance. Market development has also played a role. Niche beef markets increasingly value story and provenance. Consumers want to know where their food comes from and how it was produced. Beef from native breeds raised on grass can command premium prices when marketed correctly. The Irish Moiled fits naturally into that narrative. Its rarity adds appeal, and its ability to thrive on pasture aligns with grass-fed branding. For smaller farms, especially those selling direct to consumers, this can create real economic opportunity. There is also a biodiversity dimension to the breed survival. Livestock diversity is a form of insurance. When agriculture relies heavily on a small number of global breeds, it increases vulnerability to disease, climate shifts, and market disruptions. Native breeds like the Irish Moiled carry genetic traits shaped by centuries of adaptation to local conditions. Losing them would mean losing options for the future. In that context, conserving the Irish Moiled is not just sentimental. It is strategic. Stories from older farmers often describe herds of Irish Moiled cattle grazing along the glens and coastal fields, their red and white coats bright against the landscape. For many rural communities, the breed is part of collective memory. Its near disappearance was a warning about how quickly agricultural change can erase living heritage. Its recovery is a reminder that decline is not always permanent if people act in time. Today, the Irish Moiled is no longer on the brink, but it is still considered rare. Population numbers remain modest compared to mainstream breeds. Continued growth depends on maintaining breeder commitment and expanding commercial demand. Education plays a part here. Younger generations need to understand both the historical significance and the practical advantages of the breed. Without that knowledge, progress could stall. The breed's journey also reflects a broader re-evaluation of what productivity means. For decades, success in cattle breeding was measured almost entirely in output per animal. Now, more farmers are considering lifetime performance, resilience, and input efficiency. A cow that calves regularly, lives longer, and thrives on grass may ultimately be more profitable than one that peaks high but requires intensive management. In that conversation, the Irish Moiled has a strong case. Climate uncertainty adds another layer to the story. Wetter winters, unpredictable summers, and fluctuating feed prices challenge highly specialized systems. Native breeds that evolved under variable conditions may offer stability. The Irish Moiled's hardy constitution and foraging ability make it well suited to grazing-based systems that reduce reliance on imported feed. In regions facing pressure to lower carbon footprints, grass-fed native cattle align with environmental goals. What makes the Irish Moiled story compelling for a wider audience is not just the agricultural detail but the human element. A breed does not save itself. It survives because people choose to care. In barns and fields across Northern Ireland and beyond, individual farmers made decisions to keep a few cows, to register calves, to share genetics. Those small actions accumulated into recovery. Without them, the Irish Moiled might exist today only in photographs and written records. The lesson extends beyond one breed. Around the world, many native livestock populations have faced similar threats. Some have already been lost. Others hover in precarious balance. The Irish Moiled demonstrates that conservation and commercial viability do not have to be opposites. With careful management and clear branding, a rare breed can find a place in modern agriculture. There is still work to do. Expanding the population while maintaining genetic diversity requires ongoing coordination. Supporting new breeders with knowledge and mentorship remains essential. The story of the Irish Moiled is a powerful reminder that extinction is not always the end. There was a moment when this rare Irish breed stood on the edge of disappearing forever. Numbers had fallen so low that its future looked almost impossible. Yet through determination, careful breeding, and a renewed appreciation for native livestock, the Irish Moiled survived. Today, its comeback represents more than just the recovery of a cattle breed. It represents the value of genetic diversity, sustainable farming, and protecting agricultural heritage before it is too late. In a world focused on maximum output, the Irish Moiled proves that resilience, adaptability, and balance still matter. Its journey from near extinction to steady revival shows what can happen when farmers and conservationists refuse to let history fade away. If you found this story inspiring and want to learn more about rare cattle breeds, sustainable farming, and livestock success stories, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think native breeds like the Irish Moiled are the future of farming? Drop your opinion in the comments below.